watching the 18 WJTS News. I'm Joy Holt. In our first story tonight, local police agencies were kept busy over the holiday as weather's created some hazardous driving conditions, along with a Huntingburg man who was arrested after he threatened and strangled a female on Sunday. Jasper police responded to a vehicle in a ditch on the south of US 231, just south of 12th Avenue in Jasper, after icy conditions caused the driver, 33-year-old Tanya Knabel of Ferdinand, to lose control of her 1998 Cadillac Eldorado. Knabel was not treated for injuries and no citations or charges were issued. However, police estimate that damages totaled $10,000 to her Eldorado. On Christmas Day in Huntingburg, police responded to a report of threats being made at a local residence. Just after 10 p.m. on Monday evening, Huntingburg police were called to 416 North Washington Street in reference to a male making threats with a knife. The man was identified as 21-year-old Edwin Miranda Hernandez of Huntingburg. Police learned that Hernandez had made threats to a female while armed with a knife. He had also grabbed another female while armed with the knife and had strangled her before leaving the room. Hernandez was placed under arrest with his blood alcohol content testing at 0.15. Police say Hernandez became extremely uncooperative while in custody and that while being transported to the Dubois County Security Center, he was able to kick the transporting officer from between the seats, whereupon he was further restrained. Hernandez was booked into the security center on multiple felony and misdemeanor charges. Raises for Ferdinand town employees took effect this past Friday after the town council approved the 2018 salary ordinance at its regular meeting last week. 22 people are employed throughout the town's police, utility, street and sewer departments, and town hall. Town employees' wages will see a 4% increase compared to past years of around 1% pay raises. The 2018 budget for Ferdinand came in at $3 million. Students at Tell City High School are one step ahead as the school's success at offering their students college credits before graduation has made them a member of an early college schools in the state. The Center of Excellence in Leadership Learning at the University of Indianapolis recently endorsed the program at Tell City Junior High School, making it the newest member of a small network of early college schools in Indiana. Students are able to choose from more than 50 dual credit courses with 13 teachers who instruct dual credit courses at Tell City. The school also utilizes Ivy Tech's Career and Technical Center for additional programs. Tell City Troy Township students can earn a statewide transfer general education core known as a Core 30, which allows any student attending a public college or university to successfully transfer their dual credits. Students will then enter college with a year's worth of free college credit. 25% of Tell City's 2017 graduates earned the credential. Upgrades at Heritage Hills will anticipate expanded grandstands at the football stadium. The board budgeted $1.8 million for expansion of the grandstands along with other improvements as part of ongoing work on the high school's west side. Preliminary designs would include increased home-side seating by 900 new seats. Additional designs for the stadium include a press box with a filming deck, a new entrance and ticket booths, improved lighting, sidewalks, and a consolidated entryway. The board sold a $2 million bond last January, which coincided with retiring debt service payments, allowing the board to pay for upgrades at corporation facilities without additional revenues. Construction on the project is estimated to begin in March and completed by August of 2018. The town of Birdseye and its fire department could see funds for a feasibility study that would take a look at current fire stations and provide basic designs for those sites. The town of Birdseye is applying for a Community Development Block Grant Program Planning Grant from the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, which the town's fire department's coverage area qualified for after being established as a low to moderate income area. Universal Design Associates of Ferdinand were chosen by a fire department committee to consider future sites for a fire station and rehabilitation of the existing station. Approval for the planning grant could mean up to $20,000 for a feasibility study and preliminary designs for current fire department sites. The grant application is anticipated to be submitted at the end of this week, with notification of funding approval in February. The Vanderburgh County coroner has identified the remains of a body found Friday morning last week as that of Davies County woman 41-year-old Erica M. Bradfield. Police found Bradfield's remains in multiple trash bags behind the home of Earl Martin, who was arrested on Tuesday of last week in connection with the shooting death of an Evansville man. Police also found remains behind a neighboring home in a trash bag matching those found at Martin's home. An autopsy confirmed the 41-year-old died from a gunshot wound to the head. Her death has been ruled a homicide. Martin's mother, Donna Stevens, called 911 Friday morning after her grandson found the remains in the backyard of the home. 38-year-old Martin was arrested Tuesday and remains jailed on preliminary charges of murder, robbery resulting in serious bodily injury, attempted murder with a firearm, and kidnapping while hijacking a vehicle in connection with the shooting death of 20-year-old Christopher Hoffling and the shooting of 19-year-old Brandon Waldrop in an apparent drug deal. Vincennes Library has received a state grant to digitize county records dating to the early 1800s. The Knox County Public Library has been awarded a state heritage support grant for the second straight year. The $34,000 grant will allow the library to digitize 1,500 pages of records stored at the McGrady-Brockman House, the library's regional history and genealogy center. The grant comes from the Indiana Historical Society and is funded by the Lilly Endowment. Last year, the library received $50,000, which was used to digitize older documents, some dating to 1790 when Knox County was founded. The documents include meeting minutes and court records. A Southern Indiana redevelopment group is moving ahead with the first phase of the planned demolition of nearly 180 World War II concrete bunkers that were once used to store explosive powder at an Army ammunition plant. The former Indiana Army ammunition plant opened during World War II about 10 miles north of Louisville, Kentucky. It once employed thousands of workers who made artillery charges for the military. 25 so-called igloos that dot an industrial park will be demolished under a $287,000 contract recently approved by the River Ridge Development Authority. The group oversees a 6,000-acre industrial park that was carved out of the former 10,000-acre Indiana Army ammunition plant, which closed in 1992. The cost of demolition of all the bunkers will cost between $1.5 and $2 million. That's been a look at your 18 WJTS News. Stay tuned. When we come back, it's Carrie Schneider at the Du Bois County Humane Society, followed by your local weather.